Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. Nate's here with Dorian, and we've somehow gone through time to some point in the possible past or future. It's kind of hard to tell. So now we gotta find a way to get back. Back to the future. Or the past, depending. Blade weave. Okay, Dorian. Let's see what you can do. Can you open any of these? Okay, this just loops around. Did I miss something? Finding lots of red lyrium. Obviously it's spread. Maybe we're in the future. Sorry, I just don't want to miss anything. Let's check the other side quickly.
Has made a dreadful mess of this place, hasn't he?
I didn't see this part of the castle.
It was covered in the tackiest carvings of wolves and dogs I'd ever seen. This is not an improvement.
Hey, Ferelden's like their dogs. Yeah, I looted that. Nothing in here.
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me. My tears are my sins, my sins, my sins. Andraste guide me, Andraste guide me.
What do you have? Iron. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. That was kind of a waste, but eh. Ooh, don't fall off, don't fall off, don't fall off. Samite. Nope. Don't have anything new in the codex, right? Other than tutorials. Huh, just one more. Just one more tutorial left. Let's see. Let's go this way.
Andraste's sacred knickers. You're alive. Where were you? How did you escape?
We didn't escape. Alexius sent us into the future.
Everything that happens to you is weird.
You don't look so good, Varric. What happened?
Bite your tongue. I look damn good for a dead man.
You're no more dead than we are.
The not dying version of this red lyrium stuff? Way worse. Just saying.
We get to Alexius, and I just might be able to send us back to our own time. Simple, really.
That may not be as easy as you think. Alexius is just a servant. His Elder One assassinated the Empress and led a demon army in a huge invasion of the South. The Elder One rules everything. What's left of it, anyway. Alexius is really not the one you need to worry about.
I promise you, Varric, we'll make sure none of this happens.
I'm pretty sure you're crazy. Or I'm crazy. Either way, it's a nice thought. You want to take on Alexius? I'm in. Let's go.
Yay! Let's check your armor. Weapons, you're always gonna stick with Bianca. It just wouldn't make sense to have him use something else. Apprentice mail.
The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water.
Fennec fur.
You've returned to us. Can it be? Has Andraste given us another chance? Maker, forgive me. I failed you. I failed everyone. The end must truly be upon us if the dead return to life.
I'm not back from the dead, Cassandra. I just got... Well, this is hard to explain.
I was there. The Magister obliterated you with a gesture.
Alexius sent us forward in time. If we find him, we may be able to return to the present.
Go back in time. Then, can you make it so that none of this ever took place?
That's my hope.
None of this will happen. Andraste, please let that be true.
Let's check your inventory, Cassandra. 115.
Alexius locked himself in the throne room. That is where we'll find him.
Anything else? Okay, gotta go back around. It looks like. Anything in here? Dorian, what do you have? $53. Yeah, nope. Moving on. Cotton.
You're alive. I saw you disappear into the rift.
I don't understand. What's happened to you?
Red Dorian. It's a disease. The longer you're near it, eventually you become this. Then they mine your corpse for more.
Can you tell us the date? It's very important.
Harvest Mir. 942 Dragon.
942? Then we've missed an entire year.
Wow. 1 year and this happens.
We have to get out of here. Go back in time.
Please, stop this from happening. Alexius serves the Elder One, more powerful than the Maker. No one challenges him and lives.
I promise. I will do everything in my power to set things right.
Our only hope is to find the amulet that Alexius used to send us here. If it still exists, I can use it to reopen the rift at the exact spot we left. Maybe.
Good.
I said, maybe. It might also turn us into paste.
You must try. Your spy master, Leliana. She is here. Find her. Quickly. Before the Elder One learns you're here.
Okay. That's right, she had sent men in earlier to help us out.
Delirium is an infection. Maker, why is it coming out of the walls?
Are you sure you want to find out?
Yeah, I don't know. Get over here! Where are you? There you are.
Well, it's nice to do something constructive for a change.
Just like old times.
take a look around. See if there's anything we can use.
Good idea. Dorian, take a potion. Prayer to the new God. Praise his name who has risen from the darkness. Praise his name who has striven for the light. Praise his name who has walked the golden city. Praise his name. The old gods are no more. The maker never was. The new God is among us. Praise his name. Varric, can you open this, please? Why is everyone dead? Just scoop that up. Oh, thought there was something. That's barreled it up. This is probably where we gotta go. Alexius keeps asking for patrols of the walls. Waste of time, if you ask me. The Inquisition ground themselves to a pulp against the walls ages ago. Ferelden made 3 attempts to lay siege here before the last life got crushed out of them. Who's left out there to threaten us? The mountain barbarians? But Alexius seems to expect a siege. Man's got completely mad. Better to put the men on watch inside the walls. More of those blasted rifts open every day. It was better when we still had the people for blood sacrifices. Unbound demons have emptied the castle, village, and surrounding countryside of everyone who's not sleeping in their armor. Now it's just wild demons everywhere. Huh. So it looks like since we've been gone, no one sealed the rifts and demons have basically poured out endlessly. That's why everyone's dead. Cassandra, is this better? Actually, I should check mine first. It's definitely better than mine. Wait, was there something else back here? Nah, trick of the light. Never mind. Liliana? Ooh, torture chambers. Never a good place. Nugskin. Prayer stones. Any decorative stones? I need that for a requisition.
There is no maker. The Elder One has taken all that is his and will soon rule from his city.
That's... Who doesn't make him a god?
Oh! There is no god but the Elder One. The Maker is dead. Say it!
Never. I'll die a good Andrastian before living a second as one of you.
Hello, mind if I break up this party? Get in this cell. Wait, you're not dead? Oh, you're dead.
May she find peace at the Maker's side.
Dang it. What do I have right now? Yeah. Oop, sorry.
How did Trevelyan know of the sacrifice at the temple? Answer!
Never.
There's no use to this defiance, little bird. There's no one left for you to protect.
You're wasting your breath.
Talk! The Elder One demands answers.
He'll get used to disappointment.
You will break.
I will die first. Or you will. You're alive.
You're safe now.
Forget safe. If you came back from the dead, you need to do better than safe. You need to end this. Do you have weapons? Good. The Magister's probably in his chambers.
You aren't curious how we got here?
No.
Alexius sent us into the future. This, his victory, his Elder One, it was never meant to be.
I'm so sorry for everything you suffered.
We have to reverse his spell. If we can get back to our present time, we can prevent this future from ever happening.
And mages always wonder why people fear them. No one should have this power.
It's dangerous and unpredictable. Before the breach, nothing we did.
Enough. This is all pretend to you. Some future you hope will never exist. I suffered. The whole world suffered. It was real.
Sorry.
What happened while we were away?
Stop talking.
I'm just asking for information.
No, you're talking to fill silence. Nothing happened that you want to hear.
Okay. She's been through a lot. Let's let her be for now. If this is Redcliffe, they've really redecorated a lot within a year.
We need to find Alexius. I'm sure he'll be in the nicer part of the castle.
We got a rift. Dang it. But then these are just little guys. They do gang up on you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Docs.
The Magister needs more power for his rituals.
No! Don't hurt me,
This is madness. Alexius can't have wanted this.
Oh, this is what happens when you... Ninja spinning wheel. This is what happens when you meddle with magic that you don't necessarily fully understand or control. Stop everyone off. Oh, wow.
The breach, it's
Everywhere.
Used to be, it was only dwarves who were afraid of the sky. Now, it's just good sense.
Jeez. Of course. Stop shooting me. Another one? Okay. Get over here, you. Anything up here we need? Doesn't look like it. Knock, knock. Try going this way.
No!
Connor!
It was an act of courage. He knew there was no other way to resist. He resisted that demon to the last.
With every failed time spell, the Magister grows a bit more paranoid. Or perhaps it's not paranoia, since the Elder One really will kill him for his failures. The distinction hardly matters. After the 10th failure, he began locking himself in the Great Hall during his waking hours. After the 20th, he had the foot soldiers excavate a shard doorway from parts unknown and painstakingly install it in the castle. Now his most trusted assistants can only see him if we all go at once, together, which we must do twice a day to bring him his meals, as he never leaves that room at all. Sorry. Dorian, what are you using? $53. Right, inventory. I don't need 2 of these. Eric, can we finally give you a new thing? $17. This appears to be Alexis's journal. This is the final entry. Nothing works. I've tried countless times to go back before the Conclave explosion, before Felix's caravan was attacked by Darkspawn, before the Venatori first arrived in Minrathous, without success. The breach is the wellspring that makes this magic possible, and travel outside of its timeline is impossible. The Elder One's demand that I change the events of the Conclave can never be fulfilled. He may kill me for failing him, but I must protect Felix from his wrath. And 15. 106. Wait, we've been here. Wait, have we? Excuse me. Yeah, we've been here. Sorry. Anyone need a potion?
What became of Felix? Do you know?
Yes, I know.
And you're not going to tell me?
You'll find out soon enough.
These are interesting shaped containers. I think I hear another rift. There's a lot of red. What the heck are these things? Oh, just... Never mind, he was on the ground. Get over here, Spellbinder. Where do you think you're going?
What in Andraste's name is that? Hold on to it. I want to look at it later.
Red Lyrium shard.
You've got to love what Alexius has done with the place.
One behind us. This one. Samite. Excuse me, Cassandra. I'm sorry, you were saying something?
Doesn't look like the Elder One is interested in saving his followers.
This could have been a way that we could get a flanking shot on them, it looks like. That it? Just one shard? Okay. I guess so.
Maker's breath. Where did Alexius find this? How did he even move it here?
Can we open it?
Perhaps. But it looks quite strong. How desperate and paranoid must he be? His servants must have a way through. He has to eat. Let's look around.
Whoa. That was creepy. Varric, what were you doing back here? Stick with the group. Hold on. We want to go back up. Is this it? Hold on. Floors. Why am I getting so confused? Okay, I think I see. Just go through here. Go down here. Come up on the other way. Not so hard. The doorway's over here. No. Do I need supplies? Here we go. Here we go. This looks more promising. Knock, knock.
Try to take out the chanter quickly. Block them from coming up the stairs!
Thanks for taking my steel, Cassandra.
Go for some light reading.
That's nice. Sorry, I keep pressing it a little too much. 107. You need to be level 12. Never mind then. There we go. To the next one. Looks to be down this way.
What happened here?
Somebody had very questionable taste.
They haven't seen us. We could take them by surprise.
Sounds like they've already discovered us. Whoa!
Get that enchanter!
Where is he? Oh, I see him. I think we got him. I got the shard.
May Andraste have mercy on your souls. No one else will.
Okay, just need one left. Am I going the right way?
Damage did Alexius' spell do?
Rifts tore apart all of southern Thedas, starting here. But whether that's his doing or the breach, who can say?
Masterwork Waveblade. Oh, hello. Got it.
Let's head back to the main hall. I think I know how we'll open that door.
What's through here? You think this is weak enough that I can just kick it in? Anything less than 100, not worth it. Knock, knock. Eric. Nope. Can you open, please? What do we got? And we need a potion. No. Think we're good. Oh, we're back here. Okay, to the throne room. Excuse me, planks. I should probably take a look at where I'm going. Obviously not this way. Also, Redcliffe needs to get new lighting. Okay, here we go.
I was worried I'd have to search the whole castle for you, Alexius.
There's no longer anywhere to run. I knew you would appear again. Not that it would be now, but I knew I hadn't destroyed you. My final failure.
Was it worth it? Everything you did to the world, to yourself.
It doesn't matter now. All we can do is wait for the end.
It does matter. I will undo this.
How many times have I tried? The past cannot be undone. All that I fought for, all that I betrayed, what have I wrought? Ruin and death, there is nothing else. The Elder One comes for me, for you, for us all. Felix.
That's Felix? Maker's breath, Alexius, what have you done?
He would have died, Dorian. I saved him. Please, don't hurt my son. I'll do anything you ask.
Hand over the amulet and we let him go.
Let him go and I swear you'll get what you want.
I want the world back.
No.
No!
Oh, great. Excuse me, Varric. Great, you just opened a rift. How charming. This should help. Oy. they come again. You stay down. Loot. Okay, Alexios. Why am I not getting armor? Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
He wanted to die, didn't he? All those lies he told himself, the justifications. He lost Felix long ago. Didn't even notice. Oh, Alexius.
This Alexius was too far gone. But the Alexius in our time might still be reasoned with.
I suppose that's true. This is the same amulet he used before. I think it's the same one we made in Minrathous. That's a relief. Give me an hour to work out the spell he used, and I should be able to reopen the rift.
An hour? That's impossible! You must go now! The Elder One.
You have to hurry. This is bad. We'll hold the main door. Once they break through, it's all you, Nightingale.
Good luck.
We'll make this count.
The only way we live is if this day never comes. Cast your spell. You have as much time as I have arrows.
Dorian, work fast.
Though darkness closes, I am shielded by flame.
Oh man.
Guide me. Maker, take me to your side.
You move, and we all die! You'll have to do better than that.
Put aside all claim to Redcliffe, and we let you live.
You won. There is no point extending this charade. Felix.
It's going to be all right, Father.
You'll die.
Everyone dies.
Well, I'm glad that's over with. Or not.
Grand Enchanter, we'd like to discuss your abuse of our hospitality.
Your Majesties,
When we offered the Mage's Sanctuary, we did not give them the right to drive our people from their homes.
King Alistair, Queen Anora, I assure you, we never intended...
In light of your actions, good intentions are no longer enough.
You and your followers have worn out your welcome. Leave Ferelden, or we'll be forced to make you leave.
But we have hundreds who need protection. Where will we go?
The Inquisition might be willing to take in the mages.
And what are the terms of this arrangement?
Hopefully better than what Alexius gave you. The Inquisition is better than that, yes?
I suggest conscripting them. They've proven what they'll do given too much freedom.
I've known a lot of mages. They can be loyal friends if you let them. Friends who make bad decisions, but still loyal.
It seems we have little choice but to accept whatever you offer.
We would be honored to have you fight as allies at the Inquisition's side.
We'll discuss this later.
I'll pray that the rest of the Inquisition honors your promise then.
The breach threatens all of Thedas. We cannot afford to be divided now. We can't fight it without you. Any chance of success requires your full support.
It's a generous offer. I doubt you're going to get a better one from us.
We accept. It would be madness not to. I will gather my people and ready them for the journey to Haven. The breach will be closed. You will not regret giving us this chance.
Okay. Rebel mages are no longer welcome in Ferelden by decree of the King and Queen. Well, it's a good thing the Inquisition just happened to be there to scoop them up. Nice to go that we got to see Alistair and Anora again, too. And I think it's almost been like a decade since he took the throne. I'm sure this will open up some dialogue stuff with the companions, so I'll probably go back to Haven and do some of that then. Once this loads, of course.
It's not a matter for debate. There will be abominations among the mages, and we must be prepared.
If we rescind the offer of an alliance, it makes the Inquisition appear incompetent at best, tyrannical at worst.
What were you thinking, turning mages loose with no oversight? The veil is torn open.
We need them to close the breach. It's not going to work if we make enemies of them.
I know we need them for the breach, but they could do as much damage as the demons themselves. You were there, Seeker. Why didn't you intervene?
While I may not completely agree with the decision, I support it. The sole point of the Herald's mission was to gain the mage's aid, and that was accomplished.
The voice of pragmatism speaks. And here I was, just starting to enjoy the circular arguments.
Closing the breach is all that matters.
I got a taste of the consequences if we fail. Let's make sure we don't.
We will not fail.
We should look into the things you saw in this dark future. The assassination of Empress Celine. A demon army.
Sounds like something a Tevinter cult might do. Orlais falls, the Imperium rises. Chaos for everyone. One battle at a time. It's going to take time to organize our troops and the mage recruits. Let's take this to the war room. Join us. None of this means anything without your mark,
after all.
Thank you. I'd be honored to help with the plan.
Meet us there when you're ready.
I'll skip the War Council, but I would like to see this breach up close, if you don't mind.
Then you're staying?
Oh, didn't I mention? The South is so charming and rustic. I adore it to little pieces.
I love how his facial hair just goes up his nose.
There's no one I'd rather be stranded in time with, future or present.
Excellent choice. But let's not get stranded again anytime soon, yes?
I'll begin preparations to march on the summit. Maker willing, the mages will be enough to grant us victory.
It's like Dorian, Jimmy nose hair.
The Inquisition appreciates your assistance in this matter, Lady Gordon. And my miners appreciate your business. You'll have your lyrium by the end of the week. I should tell you, Ambassador, the Chantry raised some fuss when they learned about our arrangement. The Inquisition must certainly seem an audacious idea to the Grand Clerics. We hope to convince them it is a necessary one as well. I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who was she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's mages. According to Lady Corpin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power instead of comforting the masses.
The Chantry should be a place of hope, not another group scrambling for answers.
That must be its strength again. The Chants did much to bridge nations. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevarra, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
I suppose a shared faith can be useful when talking with strangers.
Precisely. And these similar interests are merely where we begin. We must learn to think beyond our own wants, to secure peace in Thedas.
How did someone so lovely and selfless go into Arlesian politics, Lady Montelier?
Well, that is, really, you give me too much credit. While you're here, I do have a question. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
Will my answer change your reply to the Chantry?
If Leliana, Cassandra, Cullen, and I could agree on our official stance, I could answer that. We should decide soon. The revered mothers don't seem to know what to make of you.
The thing is, I'm kind of going with the mindset that I don't know what happened. Maybe Andraste intervened? Or maybe it was some magic fluke or something. Point is, I'm trying to seal a breach. Any way I can. I don't know if I was ordained or not. So...
I don't know if a miracle from Andraste saved me any more than they do.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply. A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you.
Hope that doesn't come to bite me in the long run.
Greetings.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Lady Drummond promised a visit. She has useful resources if we can get her to set aside her games.
What are her politics?
Oh, no, I meant actual games. Chess, cards, dice, little boards with carved idols from Tevinter. She made me play that with her for 8 hours once. Steer her towards cards, if she insists on a match.
Okay.
Greetings.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Any thoughts on the people here?
Who did you mean?
You must have an opinion of Dorian.
Who hasn't? The man could cause a scene standing quietly in the center of an empty room. Still, I do believe he has your best interest at heart, for all that he delights in mocking them from time to time.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
More healing drafts for you, revered mother. Thank you.
Thank you.
I understand you were instrumental in garnering the assistance of the rebel mages. It is well done. And I pray this Inquisition fares better than the Chantry in its handling of magic.
We will try.
In some ways, Andraste had the simpler task. Magic should serve man, and not rule over him. That tells us what should be, but it does not tell us how to get there. So many times the methods of men have undone the spirit of their goals. Once you have sealed the breach, we shall see whether this Inquisition is truer to the Chantry, or its own namesake.
Can you tell me how our people are doing?
What would you like to know?
How are the villagers in Haven doing?
You did well to gain the mages to your cause. The people have hope that the breach may be sealed. Some of them are returning to the lives they fled. Others are starting fresh. In either case, they no longer believe the world as they know it is ending.
Do you have information on people elsewhere?
The refugees in the hinterlands are desperate. Without help, starvation or war will claim many lives. Villagers in Crestwood are besieged by their own dead. They have sent word begging for assistance. People are vanishing in the hills of Emprise de Lyon. It may be demons or something worse, but they are terrified. More than that I cannot say. It is a chaotic time for all in Olay and Ferelden.
Farewell, revered mother.
Make her go with you.
If Fiona and her malcontents are joining us as allies, we need to be prepared. Abominations are inevitable. Cullen doesn't have enough Templars to handle incidents. Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
We can handle the mages. There's no need for Templars.
Have any of these men faced an abomination before, my dear? Have you? The veil is broken, and the raw power of the Fade rushes out like floodwaters through a shattered levee. In ordinary places where the veil is weak, magic is much more likely to attract demons. And if demons can walk our world with no blood magic to summon them, how safe do you think our allies are? There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
Yeah, but I'm sure mages have built up some kind of defense against possession. Plus, wouldn't you be the same way then?
When you say mages are a danger, are you counting yourself?
Of course I am, my dear. Every mage who joins the cause is taking a calculated risk, whether they know it or not. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
You're right. The Templars are a poor solution.
They are men, and all men are flawed. That some fail does not mean that none should try. The fact remains that there is no cure for an abomination except death. Someone must strike the killing blow. Who shall lower the blade if not a Templar? Tell me something. As you will no doubt have a hand in shaping it, what future do you see for mages?
We need mages in the Chantry?
Mages shouldn't be kept out of the Chantry. Who knows the dangers of magic better than a mage?
A curious idea. Such twists and turns your mind takes. It's something to consider, my dear. Yes?
See you later.
It is good to be surrounded by mages. Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
You're not planning assassinations, are you?
I was planning to unleash Josephine on them. She kills with kindness. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
In Redcliffe, you sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
It was still a sacrifice, and still noble.
And I would do it again.
Anything I should know?
Artigan has returned to Redcliffe Castle and resumed his duties as Lord. The people are returning, slowly but surely. Unfortunately, our show of support for the mages has angered many.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.
Well, good thing to know Tegan got back. Just gonna pop in here and check my potions quickly. Nope. I need more Embrium and Prophet's Laurel. Hello, Dorian.
The Inquisition supports free mages. What's next? Elves running Halamsharal? Cows milking farmers?
I take it you don't agree.
On the contrary, I approve. Heartily. I do wonder if you've considered what this support of yours will do. For mages in general, I mean. The Inquisition is seen as an authority. You've given southern mages license to, well, be like mages back home.
What would be wrong with that exactly?
Nothing, at first. Thing is, the Imperium was once just like the South. Templars, proper circles, all that rot. Then it changed, by inches. Not that this is reason to oppress us. Still, my homeland should be a cautionary tale, not a source of inspiration.
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Divinity, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
Some more than others.
Some people have superior taste. Now, what was I talking about? Ah, yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see?
What did you mean by generations of careful breeding?
The great families of Tevinter don't have children. They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they loathed each other. They wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of the Imperium. They got me. A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
I'm getting the impression you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
It just seems so much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care. Deeply, about everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Ah, yes. Everyone outside the Imperium always seems quite fascinated by it. Probably why they come up with so many ridiculous tales. Flying cows over Minrathous. That's madness. All right, that one's actually true, but the cows didn't have wings. I digress. Anything in particular you wanted to know?
Just how often is blood magic used there?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
That's what any magister would tell you. They'd be convincingly offended by the notion, too. Of course, what people call blood magic here, and what we consider blood magic, are two different things.
What's considered actual blood magic in Tevinter?
Blood magic isn't inherently dangerous. Using your own blood or that of a willing participant, what's the harm? The problem is that what's permitted only gets you so much power. And what if you need more? You always need more. That's where we get into sacrifices and demon summoning. None of that is done. Not officially. Behind closed doors, it's a different story. Real blood magic can give you an edge, a leg up against your opponents. It's safe to assume that any mage of rank does it. The rest are quietly shut out of power, to put it bluntly.
You'd think the Templars would object.
I imagine they did, long ago. Once, their investigations might have been sincere. Then their balls were cut off. Too inconvenient. Nowadays, only the friendless are accused. Most of them probably innocent.
There must be some mages who oppose this.
Of course. I do. I'm not entirely alone. Occasionally, there'll be a Magister who makes noise, and then the reform talk begins. All very patriotic. Meanwhile, that Magister will be quietly shunned. Chances are, surprise, it's learned he was a Maleficar all along. Most learn to keep quiet. Me? I enjoy the allure of pariahhood.
There's an Imperial Chantry, isn't there? With its own divine?
You people aren't supposed to talk about the Black Divine, are you? If you mention him outside the Imperium, people make that face, like you're urinating in public. But yes, we do have the Chantry, or a version of it. Night and day comparing it to yours.
Is the Imperial Chantry so different from ours?
Not in theory. The main difference is in the whole magic is meant to serve man, not rule over him business. Back home, ruling the unwashed masses is serving them, for the good of the Imperium. Perhaps it started with good intentions, but these days it's academic. The circles are in command.
There are circles of magi in the Imperium?
We don't have dismal little mage prisons, if that's what you mean. They're academies, prestigious ones. We have Templars as well, but they don't cancel spells or whatever your Templars do. They're soldiers. They watch for abuse of magic, yes, but only those who are weak or who fall out of favor get dealt with. Mostly they enforce the Magisterium's edicts. The Chantry smiles and nods from the sidelines.
Do you really call him the Black Divine?
We don't call him that, oh no. In the Imperium, he's the true divine. The woman sitting on the Sunburst throne is some backwater pretender. It all stems from a disagreement over Andraste. Marvelous, isn't it?
Why would they disagree over Andraste?
It's not my field of expertise, but the Imperium believes Andraste was a mortal woman, a mage. Down south, they say, no, she's the bride of the Maker, ascended to his side, divine provenance, a blah blah blah. We feel better believing Andraste was one of us. Makes executing her less damning, you see. So we elected a man as divine, the South declared war, and we've been feuding cousins ever since.
So the Imperial Divine is always a man?
All the better to distinguish him from that other one, yes. Don't think there aren't a number of female magisters who bristle at that. Why can't they be divine after all? Same reason you never see a man on the Sunburst throne. Because that's how it's always been done. Excellent reasoning.
Do you consider yourself Andrastian?
The big question. It might surprise you that I do consider myself Andrastian. I simply do not believe in the Chantry. It is a relic, whether back home or here in the south. Something from a bygone age desperately clinging to relevance. It's not an opinion that makes me popular.
I'm not surprised. It's not an opinion you should share.
You did ask, if you recall. I'll say this. I may not believe in the Chantry, but I believe in you.
In me?
That the Maker sent you, whether through Andraste or fate. Cassandra is not wrong. You are what we needed most at the moment we needed it. That's what they will say in ages to come.
You don't seem like the religious sort, to be honest.
If you define religious as sitting in a chantry and listening to a blithering hen tell you how to live, then no. If you define it as believing in the possibility that something larger than yourself exists, then yes, by all means. The world is bigger than I, even bigger than you. It laughs at all the things we think we know. The Maker doesn't need me to believe, but I do. The thought of no one at all watching out for us is still frightening.
Let me ask you something else.
So many questions.
It seems strange that an entire empire would be ruled by mages.
I find it strange that your mages don't rule anything at all.
Actually, the fiction in the Imperium is that mages don't rule. The Magisterium rules.
That magisters are all mages is considered a convenient technicality.
What is the Magisterium, exactly?
The upper house of the Imperial Senate, and the only part worth having a seat on. Those seats are split among the circles of Magi, the Chantry, and the major families. All mages now. It's odd that outside the Imperium, you use Magister like it applies to every Tevinter mage.
If you're not a Magister, then what are you called? No special title?
I'm an Altus, which is almost as good as a Magister, depending on who you ask.
I've never heard of an Altus.
Upper class. Those families who trace descent from the Dreamers, the first prophets of the old gods. If you're a mage and you're not Altus, then you're later, lower class. If you're not a mage at all, you're Soperati. That's everyone else. We do love our fancy words.
I thought the Archon ruled over the Imperium.
Well, yes. Technically, he can overrule laws passed by the Magisterium, but that never happens. Even so, he gets to appoint new Magisters, which means all the families vie madly for his favor. Thus, the Archon gets invited to all the parties. The truest path to Tevinter influence, let me tell you.
If it's a fiction, that means mages do rule, then.
Yes and no. Let me put it this way. Mages do rule, but not all mages are equal. If you're not from the right family, chances are you don't rule anything. Maybe you're even a slave. The idea that anyone could be a mage, however, keeps the masses placated.
Can anyone be a mage?
Technically. The potential runs mostly in bloodlines, but it's been known to happen. More importantly, commoners believe it can. Tevinter legend is chock full of mage heroes from humble origins. So they hold out hope. Someday my son or my son's son will be a mage. Someday. Poor sods don't realize that means he'll be a quaestor at the arse end of the 100 Pillars, at best.
Being a quaestor isn't a good thing?
I imagine the average non-mage likes to think so. Counting numbers and shuffling papers all day is better than many occupations after all.
If you're a second-class citizen among a pack of piranha, however, your outlook changes.
But let me ask you something else.
Of course.
I'm wondering if the Imperium would be a useful ally.
I'd think you'd be more concerned whether or not they'd support the Venatori. They won't. At least, not officially. They'll disavow all knowledge of dangerous cultists. Secretly, many Magisters will rejoice at the idea. And if the South falls to chaos in the meantime, all the better.
It would be in the Imperium's best interest to help. Surely it could use allies.
I think the Imperium gave up on the idea of allies a long time ago. We've been fighting the Qunari for what, 200 years off and on? It's a point of pride that we go it alone. They'll sneer at the South behind their silk handkerchiefs and say, "You've had it easy for far too long." Let's not forget that the Inquisition seems to be an arm of the Orlesian Chantry. Anathema so far as they're concerned.
We're not part of the Chantry. The Chantry opposed the Inquisition's formation.
You think that matters? Don't be silly. The Herald of Andraste. Your very title smacks of the Southern Chantry. You may as well be a heathen. I think they're far more frightened what you'll do if you succeed.
Anyone who talks about the Imperium mentions slavery. It's the center of the slave trade.
Ah. That is true.
And did you have slaves?
Not personally, but my family does and treats them well. Honestly, I never thought much about it until I came south. Back home, it's how it is. Slaves are everywhere. You don't question it. I'm not even certain many slaves do.
You think slaves like it that way? Don't be ridiculous.
I didn't say they like it. It's all most of them know. In the south, you have alienages, slums, both human and elven. The desperate have no way out. Back home, a poor man can sell himself. As a slave, he could have a position of respect, comfort, and could even support a family. Some slaves are treated poorly, it's true. But do you honestly think inescapable poverty is better?
Is that what you call it? Treated poorly?
Abuse heaped upon those without power isn't limited to Tevinter, my friend. I don't know what it's like to be a slave, true. I never thought about it until I saw how different it was here. But I suspect you don't know either. Nor should you believe that every tale of Tevinter excess is the norm.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
Have you gone to see Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked despondent, broken. Not the man I remember, nor the one I want to. I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. I wonder if there's any chance they'll show him mercy. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. I can't help hoping there's something left of the man I once knew.
Okay, lots of stuff unlocked. There are those who would tell you that the Chantry is the same everywhere as it is here, that the divine in Valvorio reigns supreme in the eyes of the Maker, and that this fact is unquestioned through Thetis. Do not believe it. The Maker's second commandment, magic must serve man, not rule over him, never held the same meaning within the ancient Tevinter Imperium as it did elsewhere. The Chantry there interpreted the rule as meaning that mages should never control the minds of other men, and that otherwise their magic should benefit the rulers of men as much as possible. When the clerics of Tevinter altered the Chant of Light to reflect this interpretation of the commandment, the Divine in Valvorio ordered the clerics to revert to the original chant. They refused, claiming corruption within Valvorio, an argument that grew until, in 487 Towers, the Chantry in Tevinter elected its own legitimate and uncorrupted Divine Valhale, who was not only male, but also happened to be one of the most prominent members of the Tevinter Circle of the Magi. This black divine was reviled outside Tevinter, his existence an offense to the Chantry in Valvorio. After 4 exalted marches to dislodge these rebels, all that the Chantry in Valvorio accomplished was to cement this separation. While most aspects of the Imperial Chantry's teachings are the same, prohibitions against magic have been weakened, and male priests have become more prevalent. The Circle of the Magi today rules Tevinter directly, ever since Archon Nomarin was elected in 734 Storm directly from the ranks of the Enchanters, to great applause from the public. He dispensed with the old rules forbidding mages from taking part in politics, and within an age the true rulers within the various imperial houses, the mages, took their places openly within the government. The Imperial Divine is now always drawn from the ranks of the first Enchanters and operates as Divine and Grand Enchanter both. This is utter heresy to any member of the Chantry outside of Tevinter, a return to the days of the Magisters, which brought the blights down upon us. But it exists, and even though we have left the Tevinter Imperium to the mercies of the dread Kunari, still they have endured. Further confrontation between the Black Divine and our so-called White Divine is inevitable. From Edicts of the Black Divine by Father David of Carinus, 811 Blessed. There is a mistaken impression outside the Tevinter Imperium that a Magister is simply a mage, and the mere act of being a mage is all that is required to be among the ruling class. A misperception aided, no doubt, by some Tevinter mages claiming the title outside their homeland to take advantage of its reputation. In truth, being a Magister requires one hold a seat on the Magisterium, the upper house of the Imperial Senate. This is the body that makes laws, and which chooses the next Archon if there is no approved heir. The Senate's lower house, the Publicanium, consists of elected officials, but it has no true power and is considered a bureaucratic body. Magisters, meanwhile, come from the ranks of the Circle of Magi in the Imperial Chantry, but most hold their seats by virtue of an Archon having granted it to their family long ago. It is not technically required for a Magister to be a mage. Indeed, after the Transfiguration that saw the old gods abandoned and Andrastianism embraced, most were not. Since the Towers Age, however, non-mages in the Magisterium have slowly been weeded out. A true Magister is thus a figure of real power in Tevinter. All other mages serve at their pleasure, and any mage not of proper lineage has no influence outside of that which personal wealth and talent provide. From the Ancient North by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. am I missing in here? To those outside of the Tevinter Imperium, it is easy to imagine a society filled with mages and elven slaves and little else. In truth, there are 3 different Tevinters, each of them a world completely separated from the others. There are the mages, the land's nobility, completely obsessed with competing for supremacy with each other, almost to the exclusion of paying any heed to the nation's enemies, such as the Kunari. The well-bred Altus sneer at the Latins, who in turn sneer at the Praetori. They vie for dominance in the Magisterium, where factions shift and flow on a daily basis with deadly consequences, requiring every family to put on a vendor of perfect citizenship or face scandal and censure. Then there are the so-called Saporiti, the Sleepers. These are the non-magical citizens who vastly outnumber the mages, yet are beholden to their whims. Many are resentful of this status, plotting in secret, even as they secretly hope their children will possess magical talent, an enticing lure since the talent could conceivably show up in anyone, even a slave. It would be easy to forget that Tevinter possesses a massive class of publicans, the civil servants and leaders of the legionnaires. It has an enormous merchant class, enough teeming poor to drown any other nation in Thedas, and the shadowy thieves called presumptors, who are practically treated with respect. And then there are the slaves. One would think they, at least, see each other as equals, but it is not so. The divide between the freed liberati, those who act as personal servants to magisters, those who work on farms and factories, and the servus publicus, who do all the tasks proper citizens will not, it is all but insurmountable, but perhaps in emulation of those who own them, imperial slaves will connive and scheme to try anyhow. Outsiders might see it as futile, but to Tevinter citizens, their nation's social classes are the most mutual and rewarding of merit in all of Thedas. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Jenna TV. Those who have been cast down, the demons who would be gods, began to whisper to men from their tombs within the earth. And the men of Tevinter heard and raised altars to the pretender gods once more, and in return were given in hushed whispers the secrets of darkest magic. Canticle of Threnodies 5:11. The fifth stanza of Threnodies is a complete retelling of the creation story appearing in stanza 1. The authors are clearly different, with notable disagreement on the nature of spirits and the ultimate cause of the second sin. This stanza lays the blame for mankind's corruption squarely on the old gods rather than on a flaw inherent to human nature. Therefore, historians believe a Tevinter author, perhaps even Archon Hessarian himself, wrote it. In the 11th verse, we see this illustrated most clearly. The demons who would be gods can be no one but the old gods. They are credited here not only with broaching the Golden City, but with gifting the secrets of magic to humankind. The implication is that without this instruction, these hushed whispers, no magic would exist. From the Chant of Light, Literary Analysis and History by Sister Tessaria.
Did you know we're actually related, Inquisitor?
Related?
Oh, not first cousins or anything like that. Can you imagine? You're a Trevelyan, however, and somewhere in dank nethers of my family tree, there was also a Trevelyan. Perhaps he was even the one who ventured to Ostwick to establish the branch. We are talking long ago, of course.
You know that off the top of your head?
Not the top. Maybe the lower middle thereabouts. Bloodlines are serious business in Tevinter. You're taught lessons and tested by strict nannies. I heard your family mentioned, and I had to go through all the old mnemonics, but yes, there it is. I knew there was a reason we looked so much alike.
Learn something new every day.
Nice, isn't it? Like being at a quality library, provided you're not the one stocking the shelves.
I should go.
You know where I'll be. Here we are again.
I should go.
As you wish.
Shepard says it better.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel. Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
Dorian was sure. Impossible as it seems.
What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witnessed.
So many were dead. More had been corrupted. Knowing what will happen if we fail.
I suggest we not fail. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront. Hello.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Hey, Sarah.
Well, that's mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Haven, just in case.
These mages are here to aid the Inquisition. Don't worry.
Sure, don't worry. Magic up there, magic down here. What's to worry about? I mean, yay, freedom. Great for them. Over there, away from me.
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Again with your people. Right, which ones?
What about Dorian?
He's fun. Could lose a bit more to Vinta.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here.
Got the door again, Flisser. Don't know how it keeps breaking.
Oh, you know how clumsy soldiers can be. Are you sure you won't stay for a drink?
Well, maybe just for a bit.
On today.
The Mage Rebellion joins the Inquisition. I've got to admit that's a twist I didn't see coming. One thing you saw in the future worries me. I mean, it was all bad. But Red Lyrium and Ferelden, infecting people and growing out of them, that's bad. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my Red Lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
How long does it take for Red Lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
We can't leave a single piece of that lyrium out in the wild.
I'm with you on that. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
That's a good point. We should celebrate. A banquet. Something like a banquet.
Word to Josephine, and I bet she could arrange anything. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know. Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
I should sell some stuff.
Anything you can spare will help the wounded.
Hey guys.
So, that Tevinter guy sent you into the future? Every time I think I understand magic, rules change. I know, right? If I were a mage, I'd just throw fire at people. That's honest. Anyway, I hope our new friends have what it takes to close the breach. Damn thing gives me a headache just looking at it. Can I help you? See you later, Bo. See ya.
Blackwall. You have any thoughts?
Pass my thanks to the researchers.
There was never going to be an easy answer to the mage dilemma. What you did for the mages took courage. You gave them a chance. Everyone deserves one.
Do we always have all these crates here?
Inquisitor?
What do you think of the Inquisition?
You already know what I think of your forces. I'm not sure what else there is to say.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Madame Vivian only allied with the Inquisition because she knows it will bring her power. The most poisonous snakes are often the most beautiful.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
I think I've been in here before. Now I just got Cassandra and Cullen over here.
The mages are ready to approach the breach. I pray this will be enough to close it.
I know you're worried about having the mages here. Give them a chance to prove themselves.
I'm not questioning their ability or their intentions, but we cannot ignore the risks. I will not endanger the alliance you've created. We need their help. Any precautions taken will be to ensure the safety of our people and the mages themselves. Nothing more.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs for the time being. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
I should let you get back to work.
Finally, Cassandra.
And what are we supposed to do, exactly?
What you always do. Complain.
We've already spoken with Commander Cullen. No one listens. We want better quarters. We want the Templars kept at a distance. And some respect for...
This is not the Circle. You mages are our allies, not our wards. Act like it.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it. It never ends, evidently.
Is there an issue with the mages? Can I help?
The mages are here as equals. They need to get used to what that means. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
I had to think on my feet, and I did what I could.
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
We wouldn't be here at all if you hadn't stood up against the Chantry.
You're being kind.
You're discounting your role in this.
Let's close the breach. Then we can say how successful I was. Yes?
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Let's see, Cassandra and Cullen. Signed Bull and Blackwall. Liana, Varric, Sarah, Solus, Dorian, Josephine, Vivian. Okay. Royal Elfroot. Well, let's go to the War Council, check up on, see if we have any extra stuff to do. I think we'll wait to continue the main story until next time, since we just got the mages and stuff. And I think the next one is sealing the breach, so should probably hold off on that. We've already been going for about 2 hours now. Of course, a good chunk of that has just been talking to people, but that's what happens when you complete a major story event. New dialogue opens up.
With passionate breath does the darkness creep. It is the whisper.
Council, report in. Ooh, we got a perk. Very tempting. Ooh, that'd also be good. Do I want more inventory or more potions? I think I'm gonna go with more potions. No, more inventory because I keep running out quickly. Of course, part of that could also be because I don't sell anything, but... Okay, what do we got? I've secured promises from several noble families. They have agreed to provide personal guards and other resources to the cause. We have played our part in closing the rift. The nobles will now see to the safety of those living on their lands. Inquisitor, I have no idea what to say. Scholars have debated whether Tyrda's legendary axe was an axe set with crystal, an axe with magical reinforced crystalline head, or perhaps even just a very polished axe. But apparently, the word translated from the ancient language commonly taken to be axe, in fact merely means hafted weapon. It's possible that translations of the saga have been edited to omit evidence that Tyrda Brightaxe may have been using what seems, from all appearances, to be a staff, as would more commonly be used by a mage. I apologize for my confusion in this matter. I will endeavor to be more diligent in my translations in the future. Yours, Sister Dorcas Guerin. To the leaders of the Inquisition, the death of so many good souls at the Temple of Sacred Ashes is a tragedy, compounded by the frenzy of posturing that have taken place in the race for Divine Justinia's successor, which all too frequently use the University of Orlais as a scapegoat for ills, perceived or real. Considering your recent cowing of these clerics, the University is hoping you might see your way to protecting us from this rhetoric. Such a partnership could be beneficial for us both. We have research, magical as well as mundane, that we'd be pleased to share in exchange for aid in these trying times. Yours with hope, Chancellor Jurgen Hollis, University of Orlais. A bit of diplomacy will tell the clerics where their attacks are unwelcome should be enough, provided it is done delicately.
At your service.
Page from Travels of a Chantry Scholar lies on the table. The passage is circled. The region between Lake Celestine and the shores of the Waking Sea is known as the Heartlands, a place of vineyards and gilded marble estates the locals refer to as cottages. It is often said that Orlais' heart is plated with gold, and so it seems fitting that the Heartlands are perhaps the richest place outside of Val Royeaux. Comte de Morneur and Marquis Quartermans, both spending money like water. Which to pursue? We have agents in place near Quartermans now. We can infiltrate his manor at a moment's notice. Let me check the other ones. What's up here? Commander Cullen, I understand the Inquisition is working with Redcliffe's mages. I'm surprised someone from Kirkwall would condone any arrangement with them, but it does put you in a position to aid us. Hasmel's circles sustained significant damage during the uprisings. Rather than follow the Lord Seeker, many of our Templars elected to remain and deal with the aftermath, but our resources are limited. Furthermore, we have loyalist mages with us. Hasmel's people would happily throw them to the wolves even though they have nothing to do with the rebellion. As it stands, I fear we may fail in our duty to protect them. I trust you sympathize with our predicament. I humbly request our charges be transferred to the Inquisition, not Commander Bryson. We have a few Templars of our own. Hasmel's Templars will be comfortable working with them. They can ensure safe passage for the mages.
All right.
We have agents in place near Quartermans now. We can infiltrate his manor at a moment's notice.
Let's see what we have.
Join forces with your new allies to assault the heart of the breach and close it once and for all.
The best of the mages are ready, Herald. Be certain you are prepared for the assault on the breach. We cannot know how you will be affected.
Yep. We're going to do that next time. We need to take a break, guys. Build our, finish our missions. Check in with everybody. Maybe have a little party. As long as we drink responsibly, of course. And then, next time, we'll see if we can actually seal the breach. Until then, acquire Teardress Staff. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. If you really liked it, press that cute little like button. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Luke Dog, and I'll see you next time.